How's it going, everybody? ZBilbs back here with another video, and today I'm going to be doing another album ranking. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, and I recently binged through all of Powerwolf's songs, and so today I will be ranking their albums from worst to best. I really loved Sabaton. I'll be ranking theirs probably next month, and so I had some suggestions to do Powerwolf, so I binged through Powerwolf, and most of their albums are pretty solid. I definitely like some more than others. I don't think they have a bad album out there, but definitely some near these bottom are kind of more on the mediocre side, in my opinion. But without further ado, let's get rolling. So, coming in at my last spot, I have Lupus Day. Now, the bottom two are actually pretty close. It's kind of hard to decide. But when it comes to Lupus Day, there's actually more songs that I like than the next album up. But the songs are a little bit more on the like just okay side than like actually like genuinely awesome songs that the next album has. Like uh, this album, it's got Tiger of Sabrad. I think that's an underrated one. It's got We Take It From the Living. It's got Saturday Satan. So it's got some good ones. It's just also got just, a lot of really mediocre ones, and even the ones that are good, I just don't love that much. So very much a personal take on that, but most of my picks will be, obviously. So yeah, that's what I got coming in at number 8, Lupus Day. But not far above it at number 7, I have the first Powerwolf album, Return in Blood Red. This album overall, you can tell, Powerwolf, they're just getting out there. They don't sound quite as like power metal as later stuff, which is why this and then a little bit the next one are on here. Although the next one has a little bit more power metal style, but this one for sure even feels a little doomy. Now, when it comes to this album, there's some like okay songs here and there, but most of them are pretty like average to mediocre, except for 2 songs, and that is We Came to Take Your Souls and Mr. Sinister. Both of those songs I love a great deal. I think they're actually genuinely excellent songs. I like both of them more than anything off of Lupus Day, which is what propels this album just ahead of Lupus Day, but just by this much. Overall, this album really isn't anything to write home about. It's not spectacular. Everything else in Powerwolf's catalog is better, but that is what I have at my number 7 spot. But next up at number 6, I have a controversial pick, which I usually do. At number 6, I have Blessed and Possessed. Now, I saw for Quest for Metal had this as his favorite Powerwolf album, and I guess I can see that. There's definitely a few Powerwolf, like, quote-unquote classic songs that I don't really like much. A lot of the, so-called classic songs, when it comes down to it, just aren't bad. They just feel too similar to other songs that I just don't really much care for them. So as for this album, the 3 songs that I really like, the clear standout is Blessed and Possessed, the title track. That's an excellent song. Also, Army of the Night, a lot of people love that song. I like it. I don't like it as much as Blessed and Possessed, but it's still pretty solid. And then you also got Christ in Combat, which is pretty good. There's some others on here. I think there's another one that people really like. I can't remember it. It's just, I just feel like it's too similar to other stuff, which is similar to this next album coming up, is one that a lot of people love, but I don't like quite as much. And so I'm just going to transition into that while I'm on the topic. But at number 5, I have Blood of the Saints. This, just like Blessed and Possessed, this is one that I see put at the top of so many people's lists, and just like Blessed and Possessed, I don't love it just because there's a lot of songs that are like okay, but they just feel so derivative of other stuff. Like my clear favorite from this one is We Drink Your Blood. Like that is an excellent song. And then there's like All We Need Is Blood, which sounds a little bit different, but it's really the same thing. There's also Sanctified with Dynamite, which is okay, but it's just a lot of these songs. I like a good cheesy Powerwolf song, but a lot of these songs are just so cheesy that I just can't get down to it because it's just kind of stupid. And Sanctified with Dynamite, I'm not saying that one's particularly stupid. It's just it just feels kind of too generic for me to really enjoy it. But that being said, neither Blood of the Saints nor Blessed and Possessed are bad albums. I would just say they're more average albums. Nothing really to write home about. Oh yeah, and the other Blood of the Saints one that I really like is Murder at Midnight. That's another really solid one. But there's some other good ones, but there's just very few standout ones for me. So that's just kind of it. But after all of that, that's all of the mediocre to average albums. Every album from here on out, I think, is ranges from solid to great. Right now, we're in the solid category. And starting off that, we have Bible of the Beast. This is just a really good, consistent album throughout. It's got a lot of just decent songs, like, Midnight Messiah, Saint Satan's Day. A lot of people don't like that one. I think it's pretty good. And then you've got also some genuine classic Powerwolf, just awesome songs. First ones that spring to my mind would be We Take the Church by Storm, Raise Your Fist, Evangelist. Panic in the Pentagram is awesome, and then the clear best from this album is Resurrection by Erection. That one, it's just such a funny idea, and it's just stupid enough where it works, but it also sounds so freaking cool that it's just hard to dislike. It's funny, it's awesome, it's fun, it's a great idea. This is just a really good, consistent album throughout. It just doesn't reach quite high of highs as other albums. And it is really close to this next album that I have, but just below it by a bit. But overall, Bible of the Beast, really solid album, coming in at my 4th spot. Coming in at number 3, we have another really solid album. This one, not as consistent as Bible of the Beast, but overall, slightly higher highs when it comes to it, and that is Preachers of the Night. I think there's nothing here that quite reaches the levels of Resurrection by Erection, but it does have more just really solid bangers in there. One that I feel like goes under a lot of people's radars is, I think it's called like No Kai Dozor or something like that. That one is really good, and I don't see much talk about that one. It's really solid. I also really love Sacred and Wild. That one is like genuinely awesome as well. Most people's favorite from this album I see tends to be Coleo Sanctus, which is a really good song. I like it. But generally that's lower of my favorite from this album. My absolute favorite from this album is Secrets of the Sacristy, which I think doesn't get quite enough praise, but that is an awesome song. I love that one too. There's some other decent songs here and there, but overall, Sacred and Wild, Secrets of the Sacristy, awesome songs, and then some other solid ones in the mix, and brings this. It's roughly on par with Bible of the Beast, but I would put it above just by a hair. But that is Preachers of the Night. Now, these next two, we are getting into the absolute top tier of Powerwolf for me. Whereas, it's genuinely, it feels like kind of tiers when it comes to Powerwolf albums. There's two that are very close. Lupus Day and Return in Blood Red are very close. I could swap those out any day. Same with Blood of the Saints and Blessed and Possessed. Bible of the Beast and Preachers of the Night are so close. I've swapped that one back and forth on a different day. I could see either one being either which way, and almost similar for these top two. I do think number 1 is significantly higher than number 2, but number 2 is also significantly higher than number 3. So either way, 2 and 1 are awesome, and at number 2, I have the most recent album, and that is Call of the Wild. Now, this is just a fantastic album. I think a lot of people put it something like mid-tier for their rankings of Powerwolf, and I don't quite get that. Maybe I'm just a fan of the newer Powerwolf stuff, but I think this has got just one of the most fun, diverse catalog of songs. It incredibly consistent and just incredibly fun throughout. It kind of stumbles a bit, like the last 3 or 4 are kind of mediocre, but everything besides that is just really solid. Some of my favorites on this, Alive or Undead is actually a really, really great ballad. I think I like it even more than Where the Wild Wolves have gone or something like that from Sacrament of Sin. Live or Undead is excellent. Um, Call of the Wild and Dancing with the Dead. Not only that is that my favorite two from this album, but it's both are in my top five favorite Powerwolf albums. Those are both awesome. Some other really good ones. Blood for Blood is really good. I love the bagpipes in there. Really fun. Also, Beast of Jevedun and Varkalak are both awesome. This is just, once again, just a really solid, consistent album. Just a lot of fun, diverse feels. They still feel core Powerwolf, but they also feel like they're doing new enough stuff where it doesn't get stale. But that is what I got at number 2, Call the Wild, and at number 1 by a wide margin, which I've already mentioned, is The Sacrament of Sin. This is just a fantastic album. Like, this is probably right now in one of my, like, probably in my top 10, maybe even top 5 albums of all time. It is just got banger after banger after banger after banger. There's so many, like, absolutely top tier songs in this album. It is great. I'm going to try to remember as many songs as I can get, but the ones that spring to my mind, Fire and Forgive is solid. Demons Are a Girl's Best Friend, solid. You've got Nighttime Rebel. That one's more than solid. That one's fantastic. Also, Venom of Venus, probably my second favorite. Where the Wild Wolves Have Gone is awesome. Great ballad. I like Alive or Undead just a bit more. But then Sacrament of Sin is also solid. My favorite all-time Powerwolf song is on this album. That is Incense and Iron. And oh gosh, I freaking love Incense and Iron. I also love Venom of Venus. That's number 2. So already you got the top 2 of my favorite Powerwolf songs in this album. That already alone probably makes it for me. But it also got so many other great ones. Oh, Night Side of Siberia, as they say, also a really great song. I think there's only like 1, maybe 2 songs that aren't great, but even those ones are like all right. This is just a consistent, solid album with like genuinely standout songs in there. And it is the clear absolute pick for my favorite Powerwolf album. We'll see if they can ever match those heights in the future. Call the Wild was solid, but it didn't come that close. But yeah, those are my Powerwolf albums ranked. Let me know what you thought. Let me know in the comments how you would rank the albums. My next album rankings is probably going to be Sabaton and Ghost in March. Let me know what other bands you'd like me to do this summer. I'll probably try to get to some more classic ones: Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Dio. Yeah, that is all I got for you. I'll see you later.